So with so much talk in regards to what you can do, I thought it'd be a good idea to actually show and tell and see exactly how we've pieced this together uh, for a tech company like us. But essentially, what we're going to be showing you is how we've connected our line of business application, which is our ticketing system, and our telephony system 3CX. Obviously, what we're showing you is a sandbox environment with randomized data, but it's essentially doing an analysis of two systems, one the ticketing system, and then utilizing AI and MCP to analyze all the ticket notes, whether they're internal ticket notes or external ticket notes, and then analyzing the data that comes out of the AI transcriptions in regards to the call data and marrying those up. So we don't need to do anything in regards to this report in terms of trying to marry this ticket or this issue up with this call. The MCP server is doing all of this analysis for us, and then it's
Mm.
produced a daily ticket report for an engineer. This can be done in any industry on the service that they've done for the day, and then any action items. So generally we would recommend a report like this go, maybe an hour before the close of business to make sure that they can course correct on anything. So it might be good, Nathan, to talk us through what this report does and how it pieces it together. We've given the MCP server the parameters of what we want to analyze and the service levels and what have you, and then the system and the agent is essentially put all this together, right?
That's right. So what we've got here is an overview of what a good ticket looks like, and that becomes the benchmark that each interaction, each service ticket, every time entry that comes into the system is measured against. And out of that, as we move further through, you'll see that it's making notes. It identifies areas for improvement where we could improve, what could be done better, things like notes, missing technical detail, other steps there for us to have a good audit trail for the client to know what's going on, make sure that everyone's aware of the context of the ticket and what's been worked through. Keep going down. It's doing this across multiple things, how we're communicating and writing, how we're doing it in spoken form, because it's got access to all of that information. We can look at that against our phone data. So in our instance, 3CX here, what's been answered, what's been unanswered, how long did the calls go for, what were they relating to as well. It's now reviewing the transcripts. And as I said before, it can correlate what was said on the phone versus what actions were done on the ticket. That allows us to review call quality as well. How easy are the people to understand? How easy are they to deal with? Are we providing the right level of guidance for non-technical people so that they know what's going on? It's also coming up with training and development recommendations, so very much focused on coaching and improvement for people as well. And a lot of these things don't take out the human element. Like a lot of this will require a team lead or a manager to go through and discuss in some instances to provide that context and to guide and coach, but it's raising conversation points and making people aware of the things that they need to improve on with some constructive feedback on that. So out of that as well, here's your list of things to clean up before the end of the day. And we're going to move this up to the top so that it's very action focused in the future with this report. But here's the tickets that the pieces of work that you should take care of before you finish up for the day in terms of priority. These are the things that could potentially go wrong if we're not dealing with them today. We don't want to leave our clients waiting for us to get in touch with them. We don't want to add to their frustration or stress. They've all got jobs and things to focus on themselves. So across all of these things, it's looking across multiple different areas, how we're communicating, the level of information we're providing, are our internal notes. We use internal notes to provide context to other staff around more technical details. Are they written clearly so we can create documentation from it or use it for guidance for someone else to pick up and work on it? All of these things are focused on building that awareness of service, that service experience, making sure that we're being good teammates and make sure that we're also being good service providers to our clients. So really, really powerful stuff.
I think so. That's one example of what we're doing for us and other people in terms of service related industries. So empowering your existing staff to make sure that what you went through, Nathan, is good checks and balances and future training. But then we also are overlaying that with a management report for the direct lead to be able to say, okay, well, I've got all these engineers or all these service agents. We sent them a report at 4:30 to tidy up before the end of the day in training. They then receive a report at 5:30, 6 o'clock to see if those action items were put in
Yeah.
place or done, or if there's any urgent backstop requirements to communicate with clients or have things escalated. So there's another backlog. And then think of a much more comprehensive report, which we'll do another session on in regards to looking at all sorts of things. So a lot of customer service industries have documentation systems, how they handle, you know, things for warranty or technical things and what have you. So we can then bring in all of the line of business applications, the call quality analysis from the cloud telephony, the documentation system. We can bring in time and attendance data to see if these are all marrying up and you're getting good utilization rates. So when we've spoken about in various videos of, you know, data is everything, it's bringing a lot of context to this data and being able to make people more accountable, produce better outcomes, and just being able to, from right down the bottom in terms of the basics, right through to the more advanced things in terms of the nuances of making sure that we're producing the right technical outcomes in any industry is where all this is driving. So you can transform an organisation. That's something like that we built in well under a week and deployed for our organisation and others. At the time, obviously there's a lot of smarts behind it, and the agent is pretty clever. But the time to produce things, these sorts of things, and get them to market for businesses and get actual insights is not a long time.
Yeah. And from experience of running service teams and consulting into service teams, a lot of this type of stuff that was available in the past would have saved me hundreds of hours and years. I probably still have my hairline if they were around back in my day, but there's a lot of really, really positive things that come out of that, just out of the pure amount of time that can be saved on these things. And even just knowing and being aware of these things being available is a huge breakthrough for a lot of businesses. A lot of people are still running everything in spreadsheets and running pivot tables and importing things from here over to there and doing random drop-ins on calls or a whole range of different things. All of that can now be done and surfaced into easy to read reports or dashboards and real-time alerting, things like that.
I'll give
For
you one
either,
final example, Nathan, before we go. One that is going to be critical, and obviously we can zoom. The example today was zooming in on time in terms of a daily report, but also zooming out. So if you were to look at ticketing data or data that comes into a system overlaid with this call transcripts and seeing how issues arise in a business from a customer service perspective, but what the actual issue ends up being or the outcome. So we can do very quick analysis over all this AI transcript data, AI call analysis, or in the written format or chat format, and then bring the data in and say, issues are arising as, for example, couldn't log into my computer, but it was actually a network issue because it was, it resulted in switching errors over a specific client or trends. So, and you just can't, even if you had really quality data in your system, you can't pull that data out without this technology. It's just, it would take you hundreds and thousands of hours to do. So lots more examples coming in what we're developing and what we're developing for clients, but that's a quick example of what you can do and the sort of data you can pull out of your systems today.
yeah. All right. Thanks, Tom.